So, lads, today we're going to be talking about Steward and what she was saying about the new CBA. And this is something that I actually feel like is a big, big positive of what is going to come from this new CBA. And that the WNBA is going to be, the WNBA is the best league in the world. I'll twist my words here. The WNBA is the best league in the world, but it doesn't have all the best players in the world. It has a lot of the best players in the world, but there are so many players that either they go to the WNBA and they're not ready, and because there's so few spots, end up in Europe and they kill it, or like they're players that are late developers, or players just didn't want to go over. Like Maria Conde, who was taking the expansion draft by the Valkyries, is literally like, she is a borderline starter level WNBA player, and she just didn't want to come over. Valu Yayi could be a starter at the WNBA level, albeit she was fucking garbage yesterday. She did not want to come over. And Mariana Ortiz could be a solid bench player. Clara Lundqvist or Clara Holm now, she could be a really good backup player. And we saw it with Janelle Salon, who's a starter. She's a starter in the WNBA. She just didn't feel like coming over for a few years. It took a while for Ceci Zandalasini, even though she was a highly regarded recruit. It took her a while to come over. There were question marks about drafting Malonga at all. Like, there were publications that said that you shouldn't draft Malonga in the first round because there were question marks about whether she wanted to come over, even though she literally said she wanted to come over. There is a YouTube account that I'm 100% certain is her dad, because this YouTube account was started in like 2013 with the name of her dad, that was commenting on all the Dominique Malonga videos, and anyone who questioned whether or not she was coming over was like, Dominique is coming over for the 2025 season. Like, and this is for the last year. I was pretty confident that it was her dad. And still people were like, oh, will she come over? Won't she come over? Emma Messiman as well. Bad decision going to the Liberty, but she just wanted to win. She wanted a free ring. That's kind of, if you guys don't understand the way people look at, because there's a lot of transfers and constant changing and 1-year contracts in these European leagues, people don't care about building a legacy. They go wherever's going to pay them the most and wherever they have the best chance of winning. Like, the best players in the world join the best teams. Like, that's like Mbappe joined Madrid, who just won the Champions League. Like, that type of thing that happens in Europe. So Emma going to a ready-made contender is kind of a given. But like, if she went to the Sun, she's an all-star. She's their best player. If she goes to the Lynx, she would have started for the Lynx and would have probably got them a ring because of their style of play. This didn't work out with the Liberty for her. Actually, I say that, but she averaged more points than Jonquel Jones. And it was just that the whole team went to free fall, but she actually kind of hooped. Played at a borderline all-star level in the regular season. It's just Sandy Brondolo just ran 6 deep in the playoffs. But let's take a listen to what Steward has said.
My one hope is that now, especially with potentially a new CBA, more money, more European players coming here, does that give American players like a look at, like, think about like Dom Malonga, great example. She's in Seattle, so shout out, great example. So now, yeah, on one side of it, she's going to get comfortable with American players, but like Aaliyah, you're going to get comfortable with her.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, once the CBA hits, I do think more European players will come over. Does that kind of level it a little more? But TBD, it's definitely something I'm thinking about.
And obviously, look, I would assume this is in the context of Sue Bird with Team USA, and that it's kind of hard going at the international level when it's just a completely different style of basketball. You're not used to any of these players, and it's a bit different when they go to, when you're getting used to them in the WNBA, but like, the international teams play a different style anyway, so it's like you can get used to playing hypotheticals in NBA. You can get used to playing Dennis Schroeder. What you can't get used to is playing Dennis Schroeder when you put in the style of play that Germany play. Getting used to Dennis Schroeder with Obst on one side, with both the Wagner brothers on the floor, Daniel Theis and the way that they play and the way they rotate the ball side to side. Like, it's hard to get used to that, and then having a player that's as good as him in that regard. Like, Dominique Malonga is probably not going to start for France. Like, they have Ileana Rupert. Maybe she comes in. Maybe she starts with Rupert. Her, Rupert, Salon, Lacan, and Gabby Williams. Like, that's a pretty good lineup. But then you also have to take into account, like, they've been starting Maureen Fauteuil. Maureen Johannes, when she plays for France, is a different animal. Valo Ayayi is probably going to be in that starting five. But it is one of those things that super talking about it, European players coming over. And I think maybe not in the, obviously she's talking about it as if probably from the perspective of Team USA, but the new CBA offering these players more money to play in America and play in Europe, they will. Like, they absolutely will. Like, that's a thing that these players will play where they get the most money, most of the time. And yes, if the money's comparable, most Europeans will choose to play in Europe. It's kind of as simple as that. Most Europeans will choose to play in Europe if the money's comparable. But like, if you're making, like, we all say these players make crazy money, but it's like Emma Messima makes crazy money. Like, Satu, when she played in Turkey, probably made 300-400k. Like, the only player that's been confirmed to have made over $1 million is Taurasi when she was in Russia. I think Emma Messiman's on 750k or something to play in Turkey. So, but like, that's the top. So if you're offering $1 million, maybe Emma doesn't come over, but like, outside of the top 3 or 4 European players, nobody's coming close to that. Even the vet men at 300k, the vast majority of even good players, like a Monica Cohen-McCanny, like, it would incentivize. Actually, Awak is still on an old rookie deal, so she's kind of fucked. But it would like incentivize, hypothetically, it would incentivize Awak to come back, because Awak is really good. Like, she came as a really raw prospect in the 2021 draft, was not ready, played 2 seasons. She played 3 seasons in the WNBA. I think she played 3 seasons, was just not ready. She just wasn't ready. And then it's only been the last season and this season where she's really made the step up. She was out at the WNBA in 2024, had a really solid season last year of a season, been really good this year. And it was the same with Liana Rupert. Like, we've seen Rupert with the Valkyries, how good she's been. But she was with the Aces, with the Dream, and kind of did nothing. She didn't really do much. And then she comes back after Eurobasket for the Valkyries, and it's like, oh shit, this is a 6'4" defender who shoots the ball. And especially with the more modern approach, like Leo Phoebus was no question about it. She was not ready to come over in 2020. She was not ready to come over. Was definitely ready to come over before she did, but eventually it worked. You've seen players like, she's not European, but Chloe Bibby killing it overseas, going and killing it in Girona, and there's no question about it, a W player. There's so many like that. And then if you look at the players that were kind of cut, like Kiara Linskins, Marianne Badian, with the new CBA and the growth of teams in the league, you're going to see those players making rosters, and you're now going to see the top talent in the world. You're going to see the best players in the world playing the WNBA. Not just the best players from America, the best players from Europe, the best players from Asia, the best players from South America, just the best players in the world, and that's a good thing. And yes, the vast majority of the best players are American, no shit. But like, it's it's not like the NBA. As in the NBA, almost all the top 30 players, let's say the top 75 players in the world, every single one of them plays in the NBA. In the WNBA, that's just not true. That's just not true. Like, because off the top of my head, that are top 75 players, obviously Emma and Valo Ayayi. Heck, I think Clara Lundqvist is, or Clara Holmes, sorry. It was literally just yesterday's game when they were talking about calling her home. But like, it took Julie Vanloo till 33 to come to the WNBA. Julie Alamon took a year off. Julie Alamon's a starter. So it's like, the new CBA pushing money up just makes the league better. It just objectively makes the league better. But anyway,